You are?
I'm Leanne Roth. I'm the Park Interpretive Specialist at Carpinteria State Beach.
And what's about to happen?
We are having our third annual Ghost Walk. We have researched some true stories about the area, Carpinteria in particular, and we are exploring little spirits and things in the day-use area and on our bike path, Linden Avenue. You never know where a spirit might pop up.
You're right. And who's sponsoring this?
This is half of this adventure is through the state park, and half of it is through the Plaza Playhouse Theater.
Well, very good. Well, we look forward to another good year.
Yes, thank you.
And normally, is it 2 nights in a row and 2 shows each night?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for coming to Carpinteria State Beach's third annual Ghost Walk. Woo! How many people are camping here?
Woo! We all are.
Oh, okay. And then other people from town?
Yay!
Excellent. Glad to see the combination of people that are interested in the history of Carpinteria. So if anyone gets scared, just kind of move into the middle of the group and we'll let the brave people stay on the outside, all right? Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Let's go this way. Follow me.
Take one down, pass it around. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Well, that was all right. Clap for yourselves. Great job. You all need to learn about prohibition in Carpinteria. Now, the Women's Club have been trying to ban alcohol for years until finally was in 1919. Now, back in 1913, all the Women's Club was doing was writing angry letters to the editor about how the Hotel Palm shouldn't serve alcohol with meals. Well, we all know, sadly, that prohibition did pass and alcohol was banned. But funnily enough, Carpinteria became a haven for bootleggers. They would bring their huge cargo ships and then row smaller boats full of booze to the shore. And they would sell their goods up and down the coast. Another funny story of the day was the story of the Alcazar Theater. Now, they would make beer in this tiny little room, and it was so wildly popular that they couldn't even bottle it. In fact, they would just give it out in ladles. So one day, I was walking with my dog Buddy, and we were walking along the beach, and I noticed something. There was a nice little rope sticking out of the sand, and I thought to myself, well, that's a nice rope, so I thought I'd take it. So I started pulling, and I noticed it was stuck. So I yanked, and all of a sudden, I noticed bottles, hundreds and hundreds of bottles filled with booze. I filled my bloomers full, I filled my arms full, I even came back, and I filled my horse and buggy as well. I showed my husband Fred, and he was astonished. I looked at all of it, and I thought to myself, Rosie Wyman, this here is a haul. I had enough booze to start my own liquor store. Or perhaps cause a murder. Anyways, I had many callers for some time, and people would even walk up and down the beach trying to find a haul such as I had. They never did, but sometimes I wonder how it got there. I guess what must have happened was a cargo ship dumped their haul out thinking that they were going to get caught, and then thinking that they would be able to go back and grab it later. But they weren't able to. I guess it just washed up along the shore.
It's called an improvisational.
No! It was 156 years ago. 4 men hanged me and my 16-year-old son, not far from here, at the corner of Casitas Pass Road and Carpinteria Avenue. from the hanging tree, now long gone. I relive this nightmare every night, and I can't take it anymore. It is true I should not have stolen, but we were hungry, and I had a wife and 4 children. What were we to do? Now we are separated forever. My name is Francisco Badillo. In 1859, there was no sheriff, and the mayor had resigned because the people had lost control. San Francisco and Los Angeles, these were righteous and the law-abiding places, but Santa Barbara was having serious disturbances. It seemed the law was incapable of protecting its own people, so people took matters into their own hands. The soldiers at Fort Tejon, they were responsible for protecting the Native American Indians and preventing cattle rustling. It's true, I stole. I rustled cattle and sheep, but we should not have been hanged. It took 3 days for James Carleton, a major in the army, to arrive in Carpinteria after hearing of my hanging. He questioned my 2 remaining sons, who told him that John Dever and his sons were responsible for my hanging. At that moment, George Dever was passing by. My sons pointed him out. That's him! That's him! Those who heard my son's screams chased after George and nearly beat him to death. George was arrested, along with several others brought to jail. Those who nearly killed George, they were also brought to jail and put on trial. But in the end, they were all let go. It seems in all the excitement, my death was no longer important. Everybody had an alibi, or a testimony that was contradictory. Please, please let my spirit be laid to rest. Please let me join my wife and 4 children. The hanging tree may be gone. Let me be gone too.
Was the guy with the ear that got sliced off, Vincent Van Gogh?
I am the ghost of Father Crespi. Our 1769 expedition to Monterrey to build a presidio. Capitan Gaspar de Portola, recently named governor, and I, Father Crespi, the diarist, to write down the history of our trip. We began in San Diego with 65 men and a pack train of 180 animals. They stretched out in a column over a league behind us. We found the village, Mishapshno, here. 60 huts and a fleet of canoes fishing offshore. Called tomolos. They were building them on the beach. Capitan Portola named this valley Carpinteria, the carpenter shop. The canoes were well built, pieces of plank lashed together with leather thongs to run through eyelets along the edges of the planks. The seams caulked with hot asphaltum from the beach until they were waterproof. They were capable of great speed and seemed to fly across the water. The people were very kind and offered us gifts of food. They sang and danced 24 hours a day. I'm afraid I scrutinized them too much. They began to tire of my peers into their huts, and they threw woven mats across their entryway to block my stairs. They were left alone for 6 years until the Dianza party came up. I thought this would be a great place for a mission. The beach without stone, very good sand. But Dianza, no. He said, this is not a good place for a mission. Though there are many arroyos here, very little water, and a lack of level land for crops. Though there was an abundance of trees and timber. By 1782, Father Junipero Serra received permission to build missions in the Chumash territory. They used Indian labor to build, and they taught them to abandon their pagan beliefs. That was the beginning of the end of the Chumash villages. That was the beginning of the end
All right, let's continue on our way.
Ghostly trip.
On our ghostly trip. And what we can do is, like a railroad train, we start kind of slow and quiet. His name is William Dover, and then we'll get faster and faster, and hopefully he will appear to us. So we'll say, William Dover, 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 William Dover.
The tracks are dangerous. The tracks are dangerous. For 126 years, I have been haunting the tracks between the fair cities of Carpinteria and Santa Barbara. In just the last 12 years alone, 38 trespassers have lost their lives and joined us, the haunted. Think how many more over the other 114 years. So tonight I say, stay off the tracks. It was the biggest party in California of the century. 5,000 people and me, Will Dover, gathering in 1887 in Santa Barbara. I was finally living ashore as my sailor days were over. I was happy to have settled in Santa Barbara and to be there on the day of the grand party. Businesses closed. People came from miles around to witness the great event. It wasn't a festival. It wasn't a fiesta. It was the arrival of the first trains. There were to be 2 in one day. I guess I got to drinking early, and I stumbled south along the new railroad tracks. I made it to an estuary and got out onto the middle of the trestle and just got so sleepy. Too much to drink. I sat down and passed out. My hand holding on to the track to steady myself, and my body over the water on a projecting cross tie. So many people waiting for the excitement. 300 passengers on the first train with the Carpinteria brass band. And me, asleep on the tracks. Additional Carpinterians rode in on carriages and wagons to witness the arrival of the train. On that day, at exactly 3:50 p.m., the first train hit me. I was nearly killed and I lost my hand. The railroad men considered this very unlucky. It is a bad omen to have nearly killed someone on the train's first run. It was devastating to the party, but I was soon forgotten. The living don't pay attention to the warnings we try to communicate. For 126 years, we've warned you to no avail. So tonight, I say, stay off the tracks or join us, the haunted.
Santiago Campos saved me. He saved all of us. He saved us for over 50 years. We were hidden away until we were made special again at St. Joseph's Chapel. I am ready to tell you what happened and how I started out. We were just lumber dropped from a boat into the ocean and floated to shore almost 150 years ago. That was how wood came to Carpinteria, dumped and floated to the beach. The pieces were taken to Old Town, Santa Monica, and Upson Roads, to the Oak Grove, where the pieces were put together for a church building, and I was made into a handsome window for the Methodist Church. Don't you think? After some years, the wooden structure was sold to the Catholics. They were traveling by horse and buggy to Montecito for Mass, and finally enough money was saved to buy my home, and all of us too. The handsome Gothic stained glass windows. One day the people added a bell. The bell was put on a table with a big roll of golden yellow ribbon about 5 inches wide, with bells painted on it. When the bell was blessed, the little pieces of the ribbon were sold for 50 cents each to pay for it. It was 1929 when we were completely abandoned. For a few years, just the light from the sun passed through us and kept us company. Then the church was bought and reduced to lumber to build a house on 9th Street for $50. The purchaser did not want us. The stained glass windows were not appropriate for the family house. Mr. Campos saved us. Though he stashed us away and kept us safe, years later the parish bought a huge shed from the walnut packing house, and the lumber from the floor and framing was dismantled and used to build a little chapel on the corner of 7th and Ash. Mr. Campos then came forth and brought me and the others over. He donated us the handsome windows which he had removed from the original church in the Grove. Today the little chapel is 81 years old, but I am 142.
Money bags! It's bags of money! Look what I have! Tons of money! What to do, what to do, what to do? Well, I tell you, my name is Mary Tobes, and I am the postmaster of Carpinteria since 1892. Yes. Well, no, I'm not the first one. No, and not the last one, obviously. I've been dead for how many years? Well, never mind. No, the first post office in Carpinteria was up on Craven's Lane. Yeah, there was a whiskey shop up there run by Pedro Tapers. And that's where the stagecoach would come and drop off the mail. Very convenient. You just went in and got your mail, and you got your whiskey. Yeah, that was a good day. Now, that was in 1867. Now, in 1875, Edmund Thurmond, he became the first postmaster here in Carpinteria. So he took that post office and moved it down to his business on Santa Monica Road. Well, that didn't last long because then came the railroad. And what happened? The post office moved closer to the railroads and sort of became the downtown place on Linden Avenue. Well, those people up on Craven's Lane, And the Thurmans, they got real mad. They weren't going to come down to Linden to get their mail. Oh, no. So they picked up a man, Ira Whitley. Yeah, that's it, Ira. He had to go down there and pick up the mail for them. They paid him to pick up that mail. Anyway, that post office situation turned into something good for me. I am from Massachusetts. And my husband, Charles Toby, he was a sea captain out here on a whaler ship. And he was running up and down the coast here on the west coast. And after so many years, his ship wrecked. Yeah. So he had to leave the sea and moved into Carpinteria. And then he sent for me from Massachusetts. And I came down here and we got married and we moved into the back rooms of that post office. Now, I never asked for that job. But I had the doors open from very early morning till late at night. And you know, as postmaster, you get to know a whole lot of people and you get to know a whole lot about them. Woo! I can tell you stories that you would never believe. Ha! But, oh, and they called my post office, they called it the matrimonial office. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, at that time, those mad people up there that always got mad about everything, they got mad now because now Carpinteria was spelled with an E. Carpinteria. Well, they didn't want that. They wanted the old spelling back with the I, Carpinteria, because that was the Spanish name that Portola had given the valley when he saw it at first. Anyway, back to me. So, the trains would come from the south now that we had the railroad, and they would come from the north carrying the mail, and they would meet up in Serena, and everything was kind of divided up. Now, that's when I got the notice. A money bag was missing. No! That was on my watch. We were missing a money bag. What could I do? So the next day, I crawled out of our house early morning before it was light out. And I was crawling down the railroad and on the little roads along with it. And I went all the way down to the bridge by the creek, the Franklin Creek. And there, I saw this horrible creature hunched over on the bridge. And I thought, what is that? It was a man. And I backed off and I thought, I better run back to the post office. I better run quick. But then I thought, no, Mary Toby, you've got to find that money. You're going to be in more trouble than you've ever been. So I looked around and thought, where can I escape in case he attacks me? And that's when I saw down the embankment, I saw the money bags down there by the creek. And I threw myself down the embankment. I scratched up my body, but I was down there and I grabbed those bags and I started climbing. But there he was. He was sneaking up on me and he was staring at me like he did before. So I thought, oh no, maybe you were the one who took those money bags. So I turned north and I ran as fast as I could. And I scrambled up that hill and the embankment and I looked back. Yeah, I had bypassed that ugly man of the monster. So I turned back and I yelled at him, "Good morning, sir!" And then I ran back to the office as fast as I could. Oh, my heart was pumping and my breath was out. But anyway, I had spent 20 years there in that post office and not one day of vacation. Not only poor pay, but not even one day of vacation. No wonder no one wanted my job, right? Well, oh no. Oh no, 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 no! I forgot to give back the money bags. Oh, am I in trouble? Oh! I'm dead, who cares? And you have heard this old saying, haven't you? You can't take it with you. Go on.
Thank you, Mary Toby.
Yes.
First female postmaster of Carpinteria. Good job, Mary Toby.
Well, thank you very much, skeleton.
May 2nd, 1869, my life was about to change forever. And that Thomas Fish, he's in for a big surprise. See, everyone likes that Thomas Fish. He's got all the land, knee deep in lima beans. See, back in my day, lima beans were Carpinteria's claim to fame. Not avocados, not flowers, not lemons. It was all lima beans, and I was gonna have a lima bean ranch of my own. That Thomas Fish. Everybody likes him. He donated all the land so that Santa Barbara could bring the Methodist Church down here to Carpinteria. He and his brother reassembled it. He had his auto home. He had everything I wanted. But, things are about to change. See, I was not about to get my lima bean seeds from that Thomas Fish. No. I was gonna get them from somewhere else, somewhere far away. I found this company I could buy seeds from out of Paris, France. Paris! Actual France, not some made up place, actual France. So I wrote him a ton of letters, spent a fortune on shipping, but it's here. It's finally here. I'm finally gonna have my own lima bean ranch with seeds from Paris. Paris, France. What have we got in here? Look at the seeds. They're packaged so carefully to protect from moisture. My first packing slip. What's it say? Give me that light. No. No. This can't. What's this say? This can't be. It says lima bean seeds from Thomas Fish Lima Bean Company, Carpinteria, California. Come on! No!
Poor lima bean farmer. All right, let's head back over here. You guys want to introduce yourselves and the parts that you played if you want, or just your names and where you're from?
Yeah, my name's Michael Cola. I moved here about 4 months ago from Minnesota. I played Francisco Badillo and the lima bean farmer. Thank you.
My name's Ashley Golden, and I also moved from Minnesota, and I played Rosie Wyman.
Hello, Philip Moreno. I was born and raised in Santa Barbara, actually 9th generation, so some deep roots in Santa Barbara, and lived in Carpinteria for a long time, portraying William Dover, the train accident victim.
I've been dead 160 years and I don't remember my name. It'll be 161 next year. Please come next time.
Hello. I'm Åsa Olsson and work with Plaza Playhouse Theater, and I played Mary Toby, the first female postmaster in Carpinteria, which I became in 1892.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah. We come back as ghosts to tell their story.
I have been dead 160 years. I've been dead so long I don't remember my name. But I lived here in Carpinteria and I will tell my story to those who will listen. Others run away.
Well, do you only come out at Halloween?
This is the time we walk, yes.
Yes.